This time it's a bug, not a feature. Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And there have been some recent reports about a new vulnerability. Not a virus, not a worm, Trojan horse, whatever. This is a vulnerability in Linux. So keeping that in mind, understand that the code is being created by people and not every door can be shut to make sure that everything is perfect. Although they are trying to work on some AI to get that taken care of for us. But I kind of dread the day when it's all AI. The problem is about something called dirty pipe. And by the time you're watching this, it's probably already taken care of with your distribution. But all users need to watch out for a new high-severity vulnerability for Linux called dirty pipe. It lets malicious people execute code that can carry out all sorts of adversarial actions. Apparently, the vulnerability in the Linux kernel, not just your distribution software, but the Linux kernel itself, the heart, the brain, has been around since version 5.8, which was released in August of 2020. That's kind of significant. You're looking about a year and a half. It allows overwriting data in arbitrary read-only files, which means attackers can escalate privileges, giving them access they shouldn't have. Once privileges are escalated, they can do all sorts of things on a system. And so it talks about, some of the things that can actually happen. Now this, I just want to go back up to the top real quick. That was real quick. This was written on March 8th. Okay, I'll get to that in just a moment. As far as the fix goes, the major Linux distros are working hard to get them out. Ubuntu posts on Twitter saying the Ubuntu kernel team is busy cranking out and testing updated kernel patch to patch dirty pipe. Expect updates to be available tomorrow with any luck. We expect other Linux distros to be working on fixes as well. Remember, March 8th. Okay, now this is March 7th. Linux has been bitten by its most high-severity vulnerability in years. Dirty pipe has the potential to smudge people using Linux and Linux derivatives. Another good article explaining more about what's going on. If you want to get more technically involved, I think this is a good page for it. But one thing I do want to address about some of these articles is that I understand this is important. I really do. But this is sort of like going to any news website where the sensational is to draw you into their article. Read me first, don't read anybody else. I'm telling you, read everything. And I don't care if they've got the sky is falling to sharks coming out of the water, the digital sea to eat all your data. Be mindful of the content, okay? So, remember back here, March 8th. This was March 7th. This is March 7th as well. The reason I'm bringing this up is ZDNet writes here, Kellerman explained the vulnerability affects Linux kernel 5.8 and later versions, but was fixed in Linux 5.16.11, 5.15.25, and 5.10.102. The bad news about all of this is that it isn't just affecting the server and desktop Linux versions, but it's also affecting Android. So Android's been your Android system update should have been including a recent security update to handle this. The bug was reproduced on Google Pixel 6 and has a bug report, and a bug report was sent to the Android security team. And again, the Linux releases are listed down below on February 23rd, and Google merged Kellerman's bug fix into the Android kernel on February 24th. So, very important that you update your systems, okay? Very important. And I find this just a slight understatement, but Vulcan Cyber's Mike Parkin said that any exploit that gives root level access to a Linux system is problematic. And that's more than probably true. Okay, so I like the ZDNet article, Dirty Pipe Linux Vulnerability Discovered. Not so much hype, good material. Shout out to the writer. Actually, they all did a great job of explaining what the problem is. I don't know. Give me the info. Let me absorb it. Let me research. I'm just not into the sensationalism. That's just me. Hey, if you like that stuff, that's great. That's wonderful. It's just not me. Canonical patches Dirty Pipe vulnerability in Ubuntu 21.10 and 20.04 LTS. Update now. This is all good news. Canonical urges all Ubuntu users to update their installations to the new Linux kernel versions available in the stable repositories. And again, it gives you the Linux kernels that that are being fixed. So there we have it. This is a post-mortem, more or less, because more than likely most Linux users are updating their systems. I know that sometimes people feel like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. But when it comes to these security patches, it's important. So go ahead and save yourself some potential grief. As far as could this actually affect you, I don't know. I'm not a security expert. I'm passing along information. So this is a short one for YouTube, and I'm going to have a Rumble exclusive in just a little bit. So this leads us to our words of wisdom. Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to eBay, Amazon, or use MS Edge all buzzed up thinking you're going to buy the greatest, latest, coolest stuff, because you're probably not. I think I need a drink. In the meantime, bottoms up and later, dudes.